How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is RuffledRowlit, and welcome back to a brand new video, guys. Now, today we're going to be covering some more rumors and stuff. Something that's actually really interesting that I was going to cover, several weeks ago at this point, or at least a week or so ago. I was going to cover this, but I totally forgot about it, because honestly, I have a million things on my hands. But luckily, your boy FaderRhino on Twitter actually managed to kind of compile this, give his opinions, and also a bunch of other thoughts, and I wanted to chime in and give my thoughts on it and share this with you guys, for those who haven't seen it. So let's get into the actual video, and what are we talking about? Well, we're talking about this right here. So as you can see, this was a tweet by FaderRhino, actually a thread tweet, featuring something that I think is worthwhile taking a look at. So it leads back to this 4chan post, which shows a texture, okay, and just the words and also that's about it though. Now the file itself is called pm900_00_body1.tga.png, which is very strange. So, you may be wondering, what could this be about? Well, we'll look at what FaderRhino says about it, but I'll tell you this right now. My thoughts when I first saw this, was that, okay, it looks similar to something I've seen before, to one of the drawings we've seen, one of those, like, confidential artworks we've seen, concept arts, for a Pokemon. It looks very similar to one of those. And also, like, the file name, and this is something I talked about with FaderRhino as well a little bit, like, I asked him a few questions about it, like, this doesn't seem weird that it's 900, shouldn't it be 901? Because the asset number is always supposed to move up a number once it gets to rounding up. So basically, if the last game had, for example, Zeraora, right, as its last Pokemon, if, let's say, Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee never had Meltan, Melmetal, right, so let's say that Zeraora was the last Gen 7 Pokemon, well, if it was, like, number 876, right, then the next Pokemon Generation 8 wouldn't be 877, but it would actually round up to 900, but it wouldn't go from 900, it would start from 901, so it's a little bit strange, but things change all the time, so I'll give my opinion once we read through the actual thread. So, Lumiliosinosis brought that to my attention. Either way, the name is plausible and seems right. 900 is the model number we can expect. And the quality is also okay, not low quality, as they are saying in the comments. Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee textures are even lower compared. And that is true once you take a look at the actual image itself, which I will do. I will open it up here, and so you guys can actually see what we're talking about. This is the texture itself, so it looks good. Like, it looks like a normal Pokemon texture, the way it's supposed to look like. Of course, like, some aspects will be missing, because I don't think this is the full texture. It's missing some aspects, but those, depends on how the game is made. So, if we are in front of a fake, which it always could be, I mean, it's not that difficult to fake something like that. It's well done. We can't also compare the noise pattern, as we don't know how the art style in Gen 8 will be in terms of textures, but this is more cel-shaded, so yeah. So, this is something that we've noticed, something that's been done in Breath of the Wild as well. Breath of the Wild is more cel-shaded, far more cel-shaded, way more cel-shading, jeez. Way more of that, and in all honesty, that's what I would expect from the next Pokemon games as well, a bit more, cel shading. So, and if these textures kind of comply with that, and then, the actual shaders that are used in the games, match well with this to make it more cel shade look, give this more of a cel shade look, it would make sense. Either way, so, we continue down here. Also, the general style of the texture matches with the latest style we have Meltan and Melmetals, compared with Gen 1 mons. So this is another point in favor. Check the BG color, position, etc., compared to Gen 1 textures. So this one right here, I would assume is this is the one we're looking at. This is Meltan's one. So PM 0891, sorry. So this is actually, see, this is what we're talking about with the texture numbers. Since Melmetal and Meltan are the last Pokemon in the Gen 7 Pokédex, they are still in 800. But as soon as as soon as now we're done with Gen 7, we'll notice that it won't continue from, like, 893 or whatever. It'll actually continue from 901 and forward. And you see this texture, very similar in style to this one. Not exactly the same, because Meltan does have a little bit of a different composition. But then you look at these old ones, like, geez, these look like way more scrappy. I mean, seriously, the actual quality of them is far worse. These ones do have better quality in general. Like, they just are better made, textures in general. They just are. So we continue down here, and that is, let's see, let's see, if it is fake, well done to my friend, because you researched a lot. That's because the way the textures are done starting from Meltan is really different compared to Gen 1, Gen 7 textures. Some more comparisons with Gen 1, Let's Go textures. So we see right here similarities, right? The lines are the same thickness on, you know, the outlines. In general, though, they are very similar. You can definitely see, like, you know, these ones are like lower quality right here, but these ones are far higher quality in general. Like, they definitely are better quality textures for sure. But you can see also the you know, when you compare it to some of the areas, they look very similar. Whoever made this, if this is fake, is one of the best fakes I've ever seen. Like, straight up. So here's his verdict. It's too early to say if it's true or not, but since Meltan, they changed the way they make textures, and this one is very similar to the new method, so it's okay. Also, file name is very possible, so we'll see. We'll see, but for now, it's fake. It's if it's a fake, it's a good fake. Let's keep in mind that we will be getting a more cel-shaded game, so the body pattern that way could be, in theory, a design choice. We can't say that for sure now, but we have to see at least see a screenshot from the game to verify that. So maybe the Tanuki is fake, but we'll keep an eye on it. And now what he's talking about here is what I mentioned earlier, that I knew what this looked like to me, and I also remember that another viewer sent this to me ages ago. So listen, I've taken a look at this a million times before, and I've thought about it, but I never really covered it because I just forgot about it. Okay, just a lot of things happen, so you forget about stuff. But this one looks exactly like another thing that we've seen. Now, what are we talking about? Well, if we go down over here, guys, so right up there it is. Now, you may be asking, what is that? Well, this is one of the artworks we got a while back, so I'll see if I can find the actual video where I covered this, and I'll show you guys what we're talking about. Basically, it was this artwork, this leak or whatever. You know, don't call them leaks, it's just rumors, you know what I mean? But it was one of those, and it basically showed artworks for and there you go, I just opened my own video. But I'll get the file here so you guys can see what we're talking about. So here it is. This was sent to me by Cupcake Chocobo, and here it is, guys. So this right here looks just like this artwork, or this texture right here. So we do a comparison, right? The belly looks just like the belly right here, right? For example, the tail looks just like this little puff right here. What else? The ear looks just like the ear on this one. There's a bunch of stuff. But now the issue is with this one is that this artwork is, I mean, it just doesn't look that good. They even have, like, Tanuki, like, you know, one of the translations down here. And people who have translated this have said that the actual Japanese on it is really bad. Apparently, it's really, really bad. So this could be just somebody doing a very in-depth fake. Like, somebody that's really gone the extra mile to make a fake. But there you can see also a little really nice, like, kind of division of how Federano puts it. Again, you know, it's pretty interesting the way he's put it here, but it's totally correct, though. So he does say about the image here, though. He says that the plus and the minuses, the positives and negatives, well, plus and minus. So the Japanese is okay, which I don't really agree. I think I was told by the people. I mean, then again, I don't know. Maybe he's gotten different information, but I remember the first person I asked about it, and people who translated it in my comment section said that it looked like really bad Japanese, and I was like, okay, that's interesting. This says the reference matches other concept arts. That is true, it does. Same scheme used in Gen 7 starters, like Incineroar. Fair enough. Now, the other thing we need to note about this image right here, guys, is that, you know, things change in the concept art department, right? The people who work on these concepts, they change over time, and also the way they draw the Pokemon initially also might change, so keep that in mind. Also, this does look like it could be a Pokemon to me, like, it just does look like that, but just some of the artworks just look a little bit strange, some of the lines look a little bit improper compared to, you know, other stuff that Game Freak's made, so... what else? Tanuki concept matches some other infos and rumors. Very true, it does. Art style is plausible, indeed. Now, the negatives, or rather, the you know, the things that potentially would mean that it's not real. The color scheme is a little bit boring. Normally, Game Freak adds some unexpected colors together. Well, I don't really know if that's something I'd agree with. I personally think that the issue for me with this one is just the inconsistency in the line work. There's a little bit of inconsistency in some of the lines, and that just to me doesn't feel like, you know, something that Game Freak would do. Few and too similar poses for modeling purposes. You know, that's true. Usually they have more positions right here. I mean, if we can find something here, Pokemon concept art, you know, if we look at that, we'll definitely find that there is far more, you know, stuff when it comes to the other Pokemon. But here we can, for example, see an image of Rowlit, you know, my favorite starter Pokemon, or rather my favorite Alolan starter Pokemon. you can see how, like, there is far more positions. Like, right here, this one, sure, there are a few positions, like, there and there, very similar to these ones up here. But then you have, like, you know, for example, with Rowlit, you have a lot more, like, you know, how it looks from different positions, what it does, etc. This one has those as well, but it lacks, I feel like, a little bit. Now, this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 pictures in general. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's got 8. So it's got, like, what, 3 less than this one, which, you know, it could be fine. This could be just a normal random Tanuki, but since it is 900, its file number is 900, that would imply that is the first Pokemon on the Pokedex, which would be the Grass starter, which would also be this making this the Grass starter Pokemon. So it's a little bit strange. Now, there are a few issues, and this is also something that, again, will be mentioned down here in the negatives on the actual texture. So the texture information here is that the positives are new texture scheme since Meltan. So it matches the scheme we've had since Meltan was released, kind of the direction they've taken with the texturing and stuff. The tall bush is perfect, like Grottel's bushes, which is true. We can also do a comparison later on with Fedorano's other tweets here that he, you know, included. Like down here, he includes some other stuff, which we'll take a look at a second later. 900 and 00 is plausible, but, and we'll get to that later, Body L is plausible. Art style similar to other official textures, more cel-shaded art style, and again, as we've heard from King Zell, the people at Game Freak, the developers there, are saying that this game is going to be on the same level, or it's going to be the Pokemon version of, like, it's going to be the Breath of the Wild of Pokemon, right? So cel-shaded style is what they have in Breath of the Wild, as you know, you guys may realize, but you know, that being the same thing for Gen 8 would make sense. I mean, it would make sense, and then it would make all this kind of like, it would be logical, right? Now, the negatives here with the texture and the things that, you know, could be, like, unlikely to happen, or, you know, pointed towards being unlikely to happen and being fake, is that 900 and 00 is strange. We would be expecting 901. This is what I mentioned earlier. So every time we move over from one generation to another, the asset number should never start at the exact 100th. So if we, let's say, had the asset number, let's say we're in generation 6, right? Or just, let's take a hypothetical future generation. Let's say we are in generation 10, right? And we have the number 650, right, on the last asset number. The last asset number for Generation 10, let's say it's 650. Now, when we're moving to Generation 11, we shouldn't have 651. No, we're going to move all the way up to 700 and start from 701. Not from 700, but 701. Now, again, it could be here that things have changed, right? It could be that they've decided to change and start from 900 and 900, right? It could be just that they're starting from 900, not 901. I mean, things like these changed. Before Generation 6, they didn't do texture, you know, stuff like this at all. They didn't do it in this manner where they, you know, skipped a few, you know, beats. They never did that. But that's something that's become a thing since Generation 6. And honestly, now that they're on the Switch, potentially things could change for this game. You know, it could all change, because this game, if it is true that it's been in development since like you know, early 2014, that means that it started development right around the same time they put out X and Y, which means that the game could have had a different kind of thing going for it, and who knows, man. But either way, so continue. The fractal noise on the body can't be verified for now. A stroke is too strong, I think is what I was meant to say that. One particular shadow is a little bit strange, bottom left, and we can actually take a look at that, shall we? Right here. So I think what he means is, might be this one shadow right here. It is a little bit strange. It's a little bit like, it's far more like visible than the other ones. I could be missing something else here, but as far as I can tell, this is the one shadow I can think of. There's also like another shadow up here, but I don't know. I mean, this shadow down here, maybe it makes sense. I don't know. Maybe it'll be more logical once we see the actual full thing. But then again, that's just about it for that one, though. So again, like I said, a lot of things to go through here. But either way, so final thing here, which I want to go through is there's actually a comparison that he's done here with Grottle, so you guys can see like how it looks like. So yeah, but there is no general rule. Grottle has the bushes separated from the rest. Also do note that the Tanuki tail and the bush of the Grottle are similar, and they can match even the shadows. So we look at the you know, of course, Grottle here, you know, the general model. He's in Spica right now, is what he told me. Personally, I've just, you know, I haven't used Spica in ages. I mainly used Ohana to change models and stuff. But this is basically a program you can use to check all the models in Pokemon games, and you can also see the number of the files right here. See, this is right. Grottle is 388 in, in these files. So basically that's just to give you a bit of an idea. So this is how the bushes for it look like, for the bushes up here. That's how they look like on the texture, right? They're separated. But then you look at the Tanuki bush, and since maybe the bush is separated for the tail, of course this, they match. They look very similar in style, and that's how the bushes would look like. And if anything, this one looks slightly better, over time now, just in general. But then again, it looks realistic, and that's the problem with this. This is such a hard one because you don't know what, you might be getting here. It feels like most of this could be real, but honestly, it's all just speculation and rumors for now, guys. So that is it for this video, guys. If you did enjoy, drop a like down below. But we've gone through most of it, is this stuff. So big thank you to Rhino for putting this together. This made it a lot easier to kind of just like keep track of everything and just, be able to go through it in, the right order. So big thank you to him for doing this. This is really appreciated. And also to whoever sent me this originally, like the original, image and stuff. I can't remember who sent it my way, but thank you so much for doing that. I really apologize for not getting your name right because I can't remember who originally sent this my way, but thank you so much for that. And also, again, big thank you to Rhino for putting this together. I'll link to all this stuff down below so you guys can check out these things on your own. Give him a follow if you want to and all that stuff. But anyway, it's going to be the end of the video, guys. If you did enjoy, then drop a like down below. Thanks so much for watching. My name is RuffledRowlit. Have yourselves a great day, and bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen.